Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? It's proclaim the greatest radio show.
We're back, Bucco fans. I'm your host, Jim Stella, in studio with co-host Jay Dash. Thanks for tuning into The Spread. We're going to talk a little Pirate baseball, mainly what the Pirates can do at the trade deadline to make this team better, to give them a chance to win, because they aren't catching the Cardinals, if you ask me. Not with the team they got right now. Not hating on the team they got now. Cardinals are just better.
I disagree. But the Pirates, they are, 6.5 back right now, sitting in third place.
Oh.
They're 32-27 on the season, playing well at home, 16-11, and not too bad on the road, 16-16. They're actually 14-5 in their last 19 games. They swept the Mets and Miami at home, split a 4-game series with San Diego, swept San Francisco on the road. That could be big later in the season when it comes down to it. Yes. And then they won 2-3 at Atlanta, and then lost 2-3 versus Milwaukee.
Damn Milwaukee.
Yeah,
doesn't matter how garbage they are.
Actually, Burnett and Liriano are the ones that took the losses in the 2 losses in that Milwaukee series. Morton was the one that got the win. He moved to 4-0 on the season.
Garbage pitchers beat garbage teams.
Okay. So what do pitchers that lose to garbage teams, what are they?
Well, they just had a bad start.
Okay. But the Pirates are first in the division in runs scored with 244. They're second in the NL in runs allowed with 202. The Cardinals are above them with 177. And they're third in the NL in run differential with plus 42. The Cards are plus 63. The Dodgers plus 58. So you can see the Pirates are a good team.
And they have no All-Stars.
Not right now, it doesn't look like. They will have some All-Stars.
Yeah, doesn't somebody have to go?
Well, someone has to. They'll have more than one, I will say.
McCutcheon's the only one.
Well, Garrett Cole's going to be an All-Star. A.J. Burnett will probably be an All-Star, too. What do they need to improve at the deadline? You take a look at catcher. I don't think anybody's thinking bring in a catcher right now. Cervelli and Stewart combined have been the best hitting duo in baseball. And Cervelli defensively has been excellent. I mean, yeah, he has had people steal bases against him. So has Chris Stewart. But they have thrown out a lot of people too. And Stewart is a good defensive catcher as well.
I'm not sold on Stewart, but I'm not hating. And they are playing well. But I just worry, that's all.
Well, you look around the league, man. Nobody has a great backup catcher, and really Chris Stewart has been one of the best backup catchers in baseball this season. A lot of teams would take him as a starter right now, most likely, because there's a lot of bad catchers in baseball.
Our catcher position is definitely better than first base, if you ask me, though.
Well, we're not trying to improve Pedro Alvarez at first base. He's had a great season. In fact, he looks better at the plate than he did in his entire career, really. I mean, he's probably not going to hit the 36 home runs he hit in 2013. He might not have the 100 RBIs, but it looks like he's going to be on base more. He's going to hit for a higher average, and he's still going to drive in some runs, and he's scoring more runs as well. You're right, though. Defensively, he has a little bit of problems, but he's still improving at first base. 60 games there so far? 59 games the Pirates played this season, so he hasn't even played 60 games at first base so far this season, so he can still improve defensively. But Sean Rodriguez is a good defender. He can play first base, second base, he can play outfield, so he can do a lot of things, and he's hit pretty well for the Pirates too. So I really don't see an upgrade at first base.
Get rid of Rodriguez, bring in a better backup.
No, you can't get rid of Rodriguez, man. That'd be ridiculous. He can do too much for the Pirates, and he's an excellent defender. There's no reason to get rid of Sean Rodriguez.
Because I don't like him.
Well, I don't care what you like.
Well, you asked my opinion, and I gave it to you.
When did I ask your opinion?
When you made me do this Pirate segment.
Well, I didn't ask for your opinion. You could just shut up over there. Second base, you're not going to upgrade Neil Walker. If you need a backup there, you got Josh Harrison.
You hate Neil Walker.
I don't hate Neil Walker.
You always say we should get rid of him.
I never said we should get rid of him. I said we shouldn't re-sign him.
That means we should get rid of him.
No, that doesn't mean we should get rid of him. That means let him play his contract out. Shortstop Jung Ho Kang, he slowed down a little bit recently, but he came up with a big hit the other day, and I think anybody's happy with him at shortstop. And if he's not hitting, you got Jordy Mercer, who, yeah, he struggled early in the season this year, just like he did last year, but he's coming around as well. Really, shortstop is an ugly position this year in the MLB. There's hardly any good shortstops, at least offensively.
And you know why? Because Derek Jeter retired, and it ruined the position for the whole league.
I don't think.
I'm telling you, he's like superhuman, and just his presence out there held the whole league together and made other shortstops better. That's how great of a baseball player Derek Jeter was.
You're dead wrong. Third base, Josh Harrison, no problems there. He isn't having as good as the season he had last year offensively, but he is so useful to this team because if anybody needs a break, he can move to that position and play there. He hasn't been as good defensively at third base as well, but I'm telling you, he's still... I mean, he's had his hot streaks. He had streaks this season where he looked like he did last year, and he just isn't as consistent with it, but he's still a huge asset to this team.
I wish I had 9 thumbs so I could give him 9 thumbs down.
You're ridiculous. Then you can play Jung-Ho Kang at third base if you need a backup there. Play Mercer at shortstop. So everything's good at third base. Really, everything's good on the offense. Marte, McCutchen, and Polanco in the outfield, you can't argue with anything there. And if you need Harrison and Rodriguez can play the outfield. I do miss Travis Snyder on this team a little bit, though. Corey Hart really hasn't lived up to any... Well, he really hasn't got the chance. I haven't seen him playing a game in forever, really. He's just sitting on the bench. So you could upgrade Corey Hart, and is Tabata still on the team? Maybe they called up Lombardozzi. They got him too. But there's 2 spots, Hart and Tabata right now, let's say. So you could upgrade those 2 spots offensively, I believe.
I don't like Hart, and I've never been a Tabata fan. I know they're kind of stuck with the contract, and he just keeps bouncing up between the minor leagues and majors, and every time he comes up, he'll have like a good 3-game stretch, and people are like, "Oh, should we have Tabata? Should he be on the roster? Let's keep him. Should we send Polanco down? Oh my God, what do we do?" He's garbage. He's just not consistent. He's not great. He's not a starter. He shouldn't be in the lineup all the time, but he is a decent backup. He's just highly overpaid.
I think he's a number 5 outfielder. He's a good 5 outfielder. If one of your guys goes down, you call him up, and he can play a 15-day role for you, and then when your guy gets healthy, you send him
$1 million a day.
Well, he doesn't get paid that much money. But yeah, and it doesn't have to be an outfielder. Yeah, Hart plays some outfield, Tabata plays some outfield, but like I said, you got the 3-star outfielders on your team. Harrison can play the outfield. Sean Rodriguez can play the outfield. Now, one guy I'm thinking about is Alan Hansen later in the season. That guy could take up one of these 2 spots, and then maybe bring in a bench bat, someone that... I mean, it's hard. You can't bring in a starter to sit on the bench, but you can find a guy that will go out there and take on that role and be a good hitter off the bench for you. Someone better than Tabata or Hart.
Trade for Troy Tulowitzki.
Now, see, he's not going to sit on the bench. So that
let him play short, and then you let Harrison and Kang and Walker trade time. Be good.
I don't think you want to sit Walker that much either. Or Kang, really. I want to see Kang stick in the lineup some more. I don't want to see someone
Bench
that
Harrison.
good come in here, because then you're going to have to sit someone that's too good.
Yeah, what a shame bringing one of the best shortstops ever so some bum has to sit down.
Well, he hasn't been that great this season, man, actually. I mean, Jung-Ho Kang has been just as good, if not better, than Troy Tulowitzki so far this season.
Troy's done it over a career.
Well, that's great, but he hasn't played more than what? He hasn't even played in 100 games over the past 4 seasons, man.
You only need him to play a few playoff games.
Well, if they're bringing in that contract, he better be playing more than a few playoff games.
We pay Tabata to freaking play in the minors.
All right, let's move on to starting pitcher real quick. You got Cole, Liriano, and Burnett. I don't think anyone's arguing about. And right now, you can't do anything with Morton. I mean, he's pitching pretty much like a number 1 pitcher right now. Now, he's not going to keep that up all season, but he has shown his upside when healthy. So if he could stay healthy, he's an excellent number 4, and I expect him to pitch like a number 3-4 pitcher if he's healthy.
He's beat.
And then there is Jeff Locke. You give him some time still, because if you get rid of him, or if you take him out of this rotation, I don't see him as a bullpen piece. So you're going to have to release this guy, and he's going to latch on with another team, someone like the Los Angeles Dodgers. So I don't do it yet. I give him some more time. He has shown upside too. He got to become a little bit more consistent, but a lot of people forget his good outings and just focus on his bad outings. Now,
They're so bad.
They are. They're a little bit too bad. His bad outings just got to get a little less worse. He's already shown he can pitch the good outings, though. I give him some more time, but if he doesn't work out, you got Worley, Sadler, Clayton Richards, or Adrian Sampson. I like Richards or Sampson as options. We haven't seen them yet. Maybe the Pirates have turned Richards' career around. Maybe not. This Adrian Sampson, though, this guy in the minors, he's pitching great. And I want to see him. Like, if you're not going to give him a shot, what are you doing with the guy is what I want to know.
I'm giving Locke 3 more starts, and if he's garbage, you're bringing one of these other guys.
What if he has 2 good starts and 1 bad start?
That's fine. Then you get to keep going.
Okay. Well, yeah, if he has 3 bad starts in a row from here, I'd take him out of the rotation, too, and give someone else a chance.
He would, even if he only had 1 good start and 2 bad, it'd have to be a really, really good start for me to just...
It depends on how bad they are, too. Like, I'll take 4 runs in 7 innings or 3 runs in 6 innings all day for my number 5. If Locke doesn't work out, like I said, Worley, Sadler, Richards, or Sampson, one of those guys are going to get another shot. Probably more than one will get a start here or there later this season before the deadline to see what they have. But if they don't have something, then there's something you want to go out and make a trade for is a starting pitcher.
I think the Bucs need a new lefty in the rotation and a new lefty in the bullpen. And I know it's not as easy as just going out and saying, hey, you're good, come play for me, or I'll give you my garbage guy for your good guy. I just think that would really improve both the rotation and the bullpen because their lefties just aren't that great.
Well, Liriano is pretty good. But
yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the bottom half of the rotation and the bullpen.
Well, really, it doesn't even have to be a lefty to me. There's many rotations that have just 1 lefty. Yeah, it'd be nice to have 2 lefties, and then you go righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty if you want. But it doesn't need to be. You can have 4 righties in the rotation. If he's better than Locke, I don't care. I mean, if Worley pitches better than Locke, I want him in the rotation, right? But
yeah. Screw Worley and his stupid rec specs.
The 4 relievers I like are Melanson, Watson, Hughes, and Caminero right now. Caminero I was a little iffy on earlier in the season because he does have a little bit of control issues, but he's been unhittable recently, and I expect him to work his way towards the back of the bullpen. And if Melanson would happen to falter, I still rather give it to Watson, but Caminero looks like a decent choice right now as well. And then you got Worley. As a long reliever, I don't hate it. So I'm not going to say go out and get 3 relievers. I could deal with Worley as a long reliever. I don't want to see Worley pitch at the end of games, though, like when the game's tied in the 10th inning or something. But Scahill and that lefty you're talking about, Bastardo, I would like to see both of them out of here at some point.
They're terrible.
Scahill isn't terrible because he started off hot, but he has slowed down, and I just don't trust him. I'd like to see him grab a reliever or 2. Now, these don't have to be high-end relievers. You just need a lefty specialist, someone that can come in and strike out a lefty real quick. And Scahill, he really isn't pitching in high-leverage situations either. So these guys, you don't have to go out and sign a closer or anything. You just go get some decent relievers that are having good seasons because, let's face it, reliever varies from year to year. Next year, this guy could be terrible. You just want someone to come in that's having a good season that can help you down the stretch. So maybe a couple relievers, maybe trade for a starter if Locke, Richards, Sampson doesn't work out. And offensively, just a couple, maybe 1 bench bat and call up that Alan Hansen.
How close is Josh Bell? Could they, and I know you like Rodriguez or whatever, but outside of that, if they didn't have Rodriguez, could they bring Bell up and let him play between first base and outfield, or would he not get enough playing time for somebody his age? You know, it would hurt his development.
I mean, yeah, you want this guy getting every day at bats if he's not going to be playing up in the bigs. He's a good hitter. I think he could have a good average for him, but his power hasn't came around yet. I think they want to keep him down in the minors for the rest of the season and give him a chance to actually come out and maybe have a chance to take the starting job at the beginning of next season and really look to trade Pedro this offseason.
I would like that.
One other reliever they could bring up is Holtzcomb. We remember him from last season. He looked really good. Look, Scahill isn't working out, so there's one spot, Holtzcomb. So maybe a lefty specialist, a starting pitcher, and a bench bat. You go get those 3 things that aren't hard to get. It shouldn't cost you any major minor leaguers. You still have your future in place. And this team should be set for another playoff run.
I don't think they'll win the division, but they'll make the playoffs, most likely. Unless they have another epic collapse, but that doesn't seem like it's
come a long
happen.
way to even give them a chance at the playoffs.
Yeah. I try not to hate too much. I don't want to make you cry.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps it up. Thank you, fans, for listening. Thank you, Dash, for coming in. Fans, you can follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You can follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. Feel free to go back and check out many of our other baseball segments and football segments if you like. You can check out our new website at thespreadnews.simplesite.com. Like us on Facebook and keep subscribing to that YouTube channel.